Welcome to the Central Prairie Co-op Podcast, your go-to source for all things agriculture. Each week, we bring you expert insights, market trends, and real stories from the fields. Whether you're a seasoned producer or joining us for the first time, there's something here for you. So grab a coffee and let's dive into the business of agriculture from the ground up.
Good morning and welcome to the Central Prairie Co-op Podcast. This week, I am your host, Mandy Lyons, and Mike Corbus, our CEO, is going to provide a harvest report. Mike.
Yeah, thanks, Mandy. Again, we just thought we'd get another quick harvest report at the time of this recording. We're fairly well wrapped up, but I know we've got some out there. People still struggling to get what they can in, so it's not quite over. But a big thank you to our producers. I know it was a tough year, and right now I'd say we're pushing up about getting close to 5 million bushels of wheat receipts. So very nice, very nice. And quality-wise, we all knew, that there should be some concern, particularly over test weight with all the rain we've had. So as an average throughout our company, our test weight is a little lower, not as bad as it could have been, that's for sure. And the protein is also a little less overall this year versus prior years. But, we did, again, hold both of those levels pretty nicely. It's really the grain that we've seen here at the end as we trail off where we started to see the lower test weights. So overall, I think all the producers know this. It's been a tough slog for everybody. Both producers and the employees, really. Not a lot of sleep out there as we're accustomed to on a wheat harvest, but I think all the interruptions just kind of added to the stress and other issues, But on the bright side, I can say, knock on wood, we really did not have but a few small equipment issues this year. It's kind of like air conditioners go out only in the summer when you really need them, and wheat harvest tends to be when we find out, where we had weaknesses in equipment and whatnot. So a couple little things, but nothing really major. So I was very happy about that. I would also say, again, thank you to the producers because it is nice. We have heard some very nice compliments this year. I'm very proud of the staff and management. I know a lot of our elevators they're older. They're not necessarily the latest, greatest. They're not all that fast at times, but we've had people remark, too, that in the end, there's some other alternatives naturally, but the lines can be quite long. So in the end, the overall weight isn't necessarily any different. And I know that our folks have done what they can to get the most out of the equipment we have, and so we really appreciate it. It's been wonderful working on behalf of everybody this year, and we appreciate what our producers do.
Yeah, absolutely. Milo, what is going on with Milo?
Well, so I think everybody knows that was quite an issue last year, and obviously it looks like there's going to be a lot again this year. So I unfortunately don't really have anything positive to report on this front necessarily. We are staring down the barrel of another huge Milo harvest. Once again, there's not much market to go into. We have a limit on how much space we can allocate in order to still receive other crops too. So China has not stepped in yet. Oh, there might have been a little bit of activity, but nothing meaningful. I wish I felt more confident that they were going to come in to the market. If they do, that will be fantastic. That could change things. But if they don't, I think I said this last time we did a little update, the prognosis is not very good. So I think producers should brace themselves for a number of issues. I don't think you're going to see basis be very good. The preliminary numbers that we're seeing out there are not a good indication. Again, space is going to be an issue for everyone. And, we took a lot of wheat this year. We went through 3-ish years of drought. Now we don't have drought, so we take a lot more wheat. It's difficult to move all of that as well. And then yet we know what we're facing so far for a fall crop. So that is a concern.
how have things gone at Little River and our partnership there with Purefield Ingredients?
Right. Thanks for asking. So that's gone very well from what I've heard so far. And again, it's a new partnership. Purefield is a gluten manufacturer, gluten plant, and what we consider an end user in our terms here. So it was really good to partner with them. They offer producers that fit logistically in that footprint near Little River that can make it there some opportunity to potentially get a little bit more pay for their grain. It still provides an outlet for the producers there to take their grain regardless, particularly the wheat, of course. And these kinds of things really are our future. Some of you may remember what we call CRI. That is a partnership we've done with Ag Partners that's still in process, more on the agronomy side. GRP, which is more of a carbon credit program as well. So partnerships like that we think are important. We're always looking for new ones. Back in the day, some may know, probably most don't, but part of my career I spent intensively in business development. So I found myself in other parts of our country working on energy projects, fractionators, propane terminals, things like that. What I learned out of that is that there are great things to be had out there. It takes a lot of work and a lot of time, unfortunately, and you can be working with, say, 10 different entities at one time trying to find or develop partnerships. 9 of them go away. If you're lucky, you get the one, and then you move on to the next. Or if you get nothing out of that batch, you move on to the next. So that is the process. We will never stop that. If we can find more value for the producers, that's what we're after. So it's a never-ending quest.
Yeah, and that's the co-op way.
It is.
Is to partner.
It is.
Yeah. Any other topics you'd like to mention before we close?
Yeah, just one other. I would like to talk about accounts receivable. So when we talk about credit and accounts, I would say it's our responsibility as a co-op on behalf of the entire membership to make sure that we keep the accounts receivable under control. It's very dangerous for a business to let that get out of hand because, I have had the chance to look at financials of other cooperatives that did not control that, and they are no longer what they once were. I'll just put it that way. One completely went out, got sold off, one merged, so not a good situation. So, yeah, we have a credit policy. We adhere to it. But I also wanted to take a moment and tell the producers, we also know times are not easy. You're in our hearts. We understand that. And I would ask everybody, if you're struggling a little bit, maybe you can't pay on time or whatever, all I would ask is reach out to us. One of the things that I've noticed since I've been here is that, we send out a letter, an overdue notice, but the first time that actually hits a producer's mailbox is really when they're 60 days out. And then I think at 90 days, another one follows and therefore. But there have been times where we've not received any response to the letter. No one's ever called us. And then ultimately, at some point, it has to go to collection because we've had no communication. We're open-minded. We're very willing to work with people, but we do need to know about it. Just communicate is all I would ask. We will do anything we can to work with you. So if you find yourself in that situation, please call the office, ask for Holly. She's in charge of AR, or myself, and let's talk. We appreciate you very much, and we understand times are tough. So
Great. Thanks, Mike. And thank you for joining us today. Be sure to tune in next week where we will talk all things agriculture from the ground up.